All right. So I did the Windows Fundamentals lab. Windows Fundamentals 1 lab. It wasn't much of a like doing stuff lab. It was more of a walk through and understand how Windows OS works. So I'll just be walking you guys through what I walked through, and then there'll be a short demonstration of a portion of the lab that had me do a specific thing. So starting with first, it wanted me to find out how to disable search box and disable task view, which is simply by right-clicking the taskbar, the toolbar, and then viewing the settings. And then for search, you click hidden, and then you just uncheck show task view button. Next is the file system. So to view your file system, you basically go to your local disk, you right click it, go to properties, and you can see it right here on file system in the general tab. Now, there are different file system types, but typically on a modern version of Windows, you'll have a NTFS or New Technology File System. Before NTFS, there was FAT16 and FAT32, which is file allocation table. And there's also HPFS, which was a high performance file system. You don't see those often now anymore, with the exception of FAT, because FAT partitions are typically used for like USB drives and micro SD cards, stuff like that. But other than that, you wouldn't typically see it on a personal laptop or on a Windows server. So when NTFS is known as a journaling file system, which means if something fails, the file system will automatically repair the folders or files on the disk using what's stored in a log file, and this feature that NFTS has isn't possible with FAT, so that's what kind of differentiates them. And then some NFTS features are to granting or denying permissions for files or folders, and then also alternate data streams. And alternate data streams is basically a file attribute specific to Windows NTFS, and it allows files to have more than one data stream and basically it's a way to have things work more efficiently. So another thing is the Windows folder. It's within the local disk, and it contains an environment variable for Windows OS, which is the %, WINDIR, which is basically Windows directory, and then the % again. It also has the System32 folder, which is the folder that holds important file information for the operating system. Next, I went to view the user accounts. They wanted me to view existing user accounts, and so you click on the start menu, you type other user, and you click on other user, and it gives you a shortcut to system settings and then other users. And then you can click on the local account, and it'll pop you can click on the local account, and the change account type or remove will show up. And then if you click change account type, you could change it from a standard user to administrator account. And then also through a way to see the users and groups in AD is to go right click the start menu and select run, and then type in this right here, which is LSR, which is basically user manager .msc, and then click OK, and the Active Directory users and groups will show up, and you can click on users and you can go to the other user on this PC, which is TryHackMe or TryHackMe Billy. And you can see its password is window $fund1 exclamation point. And then you can see it's part of remote desktop users and users, those two groups. And then now I'm going to walk you through remote control. So remote control, it's typically used to install patches and deploy administrative policies on user devices. But in this lab, it was used to view the difference between permissions given to an administrator and permissions given to a local user. So on the administrative account, I could go into Wirestrike without any problem. But on the user account, I had to log in as an administrator. So I'm going to walk you through that. Let me change what I'm presenting real quick. Okay, so here, oof. So it's loading, but essentially what I'll be doing is I'll be gaining remote access to the user account. I thought I'd demonstrate this because it's kind of an important thing to know, and it's something new I learned during this lab. So I'm just going to do a quick demonstration of it, if this loads faster. Okay, while that loads, I'll go ahead and finish my presentation and then come back to it because it's taking a long time. Oh, just finished. Okay. All right. So now that I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and do what I mentioned before. Go to run, click. Oh, actually, don't need to do that because I already know the password. So I can do remote control desktop, remote desktop connection. Then I put the computer name, which is THM dash Windows Fundamentals WinFun1. And then I put in the username, which is TryHackMe Billy. And the password is, I seem to have forgotten. It's, oh, okay. Window $, capital, oh. Oh, great, okay. Jeez, I'm sorry. One sec. Okay, there we go. Let me start over on that. Okay. Okay, now it's connecting to the local user's account. And wait for that to load. And it'll take a second, but remote connection actually has a lot of ethical issues surrounding it, given that a lot of the time companies will do remote access without properly informing users. One of the important things when it comes to informing users is letting them know why you need remote access to their desktop and what you're planning to do, because a lot of the times it creates a culture of distrust within an organization, or it just makes users feel like their privacy is being violated. So a lot of the times it's best for companies to have a standard, like this is, let users know what they're going to do. Often they use Windows Configuration Manager, and they set up rules where IT departments have to ask permission to gain remote desktop connection, to gain connection to to a user's device because of the issues it causes. But yeah, sorry, this is taking a minute. Maybe my password is wrong. Hold on. Nope, password's the exact same. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. So this will pop up saying the identity of the computer can't be verified. It's fine. Just click yes. And then we'll see that I'm in the local user that's also on this PC. And if we go to Wirestrike, we first see that that's there already showing that the local user doesn't have access to install it. And then if we wanted to install it, we'd put in the administrator password, which I don't know because it's not part of the lab. But point is, you are seeing how to gain access to a local user, and also seeing that there's different permissions for each user. So there's that. So I'm gonna finish that, and then pull this back up. So that was that. Okay, next is settings versus control panel. So the differences, they kind of have the same function, but not really. Settings are kind of more like, are kind of the more basic settings, and then control panels a little more advanced, but more often than not, certain parts of the other leads to the other. So for example, you can get to control panel through settings if you're trying to find if you're trying to change the adapter settings. So on settings, it'd be, you'd start at settings, you go to network and internet, and then you go to change adapter setting, and then it take you to control panel. And then on control panel, you go network and internet, network and sharing connections, change adapter settings, and it goes to the following page that the separate path on settings would take you to. And then to view the installed apps are different too. For settings, you just go to the app section, but for control panel, you have to go to programs, then programs and features to see what's installed. And then here's screenshots of the differences. As you can see, here's the apps and features on settings, and then programs and features on control panel. And then same thing over here, change adapter options, and then change adapter settings. They both lead to the same page on control panel, but they have different paths. And then for task manager, next was to look at task manager, simply finding out where it is and what you can view there. So you right click the start icon and select task manager. it will normally show it blank, so you click more details, and then you'll view all the you can view all the processes running on your device, and you can look at how much memory they're taking up, and you can also view like how you can also view how they're running and how much processing time they're taking up on your device as well. Next, I'm going to talk about now is my vulnerability. So it's CVE 2025-62221. It has a base score of 7.8, which it's critical, but it's not super high up there, but it's still super high. The vulnerability is Windows Cloud Files mini filter driver elevation, a privilege vulnerability. It's a use after free vulnerability, which allows unauthorized attackers to elevate privileges locally. So use after free is basically a type of memory corruption bug that occurs when the system tries to use memory that has already been released. One of the examples I saw while researching was like someone trying to use a key after the locks have already been changed. It's kind of similar to that. So the way it works is the program keeps using memory after it's already been freed, as said before, and it results in making memory available for other data. And so attackers who already have local access can manipulate this to corrupt memory or influence program behavior. To fix or mitigate this, you can apply Microsoft's December 2025 patch Tuesday release, which includes a patch for this vulnerability. There's other ways, but mitigate as well, but I'll get to that later. It matters because this bug lives in a kernel mode driver. If it's successfully exploited, it would break core Windows protections and give an attacker a deep control deep within the system. So some other measures to take besides patching would be applying least privilege policies and making sure that users who don't need access to something don't have access to it. Unless they need it, they don't need access to it. Use endpoint detection and response tools. This will just make sure that your system's being watched and everything's good. Enable automatic updates. This will prevent stuff like that from happening, because when it's patched and you don't have to worry about any vulnerabilities that pop up because you didn't update anything. And then keep track of system logs. This can help you keeping track of system logs. You can keep track of unusual processes or like weird driver activity and notice something like that before it gets worse. Thank you. And then here are my sources. And does anyone have any questions?
All right, I've got some questions. I think once again, I think you answered most of my questions as well. Where's the one that said? So for a vulnerability like this, is this one that's more likely to be exploited quietly, or is this one that would make a lot of system noise?
It probably, truthfully, be quieter because it is on a, well, if the course of action they take is to install malware or ransomware, it might not be so quiet. But if it's just to, kind of move across a network, they might go undetected for a little bit, depending on what measures are set up in the network. It all depends on how they use this vulnerability and how the network itself is set up.
The point depends on the exploit and the quality and everything. I don't know if you said this or not. What level of access does an attacker need to exploit the vulnerability? Do they need authentication already like mine did, or can they do it without already having credentials?
They just need like low-level local access, and then from that they can escalate their privileges and do whatever. And because they escalate their privileges, they can kind of go undetected for a little bit, because they, as long as they, you know, don't do anything too out of the ordinary, it can go undetected.
And then how does that required level of access influence how realistic this attack can be used in an enterprise environment?
I'm sorry, say that again. Sorry.
Knowing that they need a low level of access, how does that requirement influence how effective this attack is in an attack, like an attack is with this exploit?
Well, normally it can't really be exploited unless you have low level access. So it's kind of, I mean, unless like you already have someone in your system, it's not really something to worry about too much. But again, it's still something that could really affect your system, because it's the kernel level of Windows. So if someone does get access to a low level account, all of a sudden you're done for, basically. So although realistically it's not likely to happen, it's still a very critical vulnerability that exists. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I had one more in the same ballpark. I just gotta find where it was. How would you? I can't find it. So no, I think I'm all set. Thank you so much. Great job.
Thank you.